the league for so long, I think he has film or footage on everything. And I think every week it's been pretty cool where he'll pull something from when he was with the Jets or, when he was with the Cowboys, and he'd be like, we ran this play against a similar defense, and I think it's going to work for us this week. And he'll throw up a clip, and we'll watch it a few times and be like, this is what I was teaching the guys. Now I'm doing it a little differently. But he just has so much experience where each week he can pull something from, a defense that he's played against or a coordinator that he feels like gives us a little bit of a chance. Just a small changeup that's going to give us a chance to do something big on offense, and his in-game demeanor. He's a very intense guy at practice. We're always working and stuff, and then we get in the game, and it's just like I feel like he's just like a mad scientist trying to figure out what the next play, what the next run can hit and work. Watching the defense and seeing how they're reacting to our formations and motions and all types of gap or zone schemes. It's just been a real pleasure to see how he works and all that knowledge that he has stored in there.
Nate Orrick, your next question.
Joel, you made the Pro Bowl a couple times, but I wanted to know, I'm sure you take something from each coach. Is there something specific that you think you've gotten better at because of Bill Callahan?
Yeah, it's really, for me, getting on guys a little bit quicker in pass pro. He's an advocate. I mean, it really depends on what play and stuff we're using, but using my hands a little bit better in pass protection and doing things that you see some of the guys that he's coached, Brandon Sheriff, Zach Martin, some of these guys that do really well, and just taking little tidbits in pass protection, using your hands a little bit better, shaving angles in pass protection, just things that, are pretty complex, when you go to O-line play, but things that he's worked with and know work and give you a little bit of an advantage than, other O-line coaches.
Tom, I think Callahan was the first coach signed, or at least the first major coach signed. He probably had his choice of a couple different teams. Why do you think he came here? Stefanski?
I think that was part of it, Les. I think he probably, like we were talking about with the playmakers, I think he was probably excited about working with guys like Landry and Mayfield and Chubb and Beckham and seeing what he could do with them. I think Stefanski was probably part of it. I think from the Browns standpoint, it was important for them to bring in somebody of that caliber, somebody who's been an NFL head coach, to serve as, a sounding board and a mentor, if you will, to Kevin Stefanski. I think it also shows, the confidence that Kevin Stefanski has in his own skin to be able to bring in, a coach of that regard and not feel threatened by it. That's not always been the case, as we know, here in Cleveland. So, from day one of camp, Les, all we've heard from players, especially the offensive linemen, clearly, because they work with him on an everyday basis, is how much Bill Callahan has meant to this team so far. He's done a terrific job, like so many of the other coaches. I not only Callahan, but I think that, as I mentioned earlier, I think the job that Joe Woods has done with losing one defensive player after another has been nothing short of remarkable so far.
We talked